Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to cover what I think is a real classic. It's kind of a cult favorite for a lot of people, but that is Neutral Milk Hotel's Aeroplane Under the Sea. So this is a 2009-ish pressing, I believe. It's really hard to tell with these because there's literally no identifier that makes it really clear. But I know it's not an original. Let's talk about the artwork here because this is fantastic. So first of all, there are some pieces on the front and on the back which are actually edits. So Chris Bilheimer essentially did some edits for some postcards from the early 1900s. They had this obsession with these like penny arcade postcards that came out, and they had different things on them, but it had this very distinct kind of style in terms of artwork. And they edited in a drum head for this young lady's head. This album in particular is extremely popular with a lot of people in this kind of genre. What kind of genre is that? Well, this album has a lot of distortion in it and compression, synthesizer type stuff. It's kind of very, I guess, interesting, I'll say. The quality of the recording actually was not that great. And that kind of comes across in the albums. And it's hard to say that the pressing is good or bad because the original was not great, I'd say. I think it sounds good. I enjoy it. It sounds great on my setup. So I think the pressing itself is just fine. So if you don't think it has great quality, it may be the actual master recording essentially. But let's talk a little bit about the instrumentation here because it's really out there and it's really cool. There's some horns and things which are really cool, but they also use things you probably have never heard of. So there's floor toms, there's bowed, fuzz basses. There's something called a wandering genie, which is a Lowry L2, which is kind of an organ essentially. It's an electronic organ. And it has some kind of synthesizer pieces to it. There's something called a zanzithophophone. Zanzithophones. It's a Casio synthesizer that looks like a saxophone, essentially. Whole lot of really interesting sounds that go into this to make the unique sound that Neutral Milk Hotel had. The inserts for these albums is fantastic. So it's got also a very distinct style. And this style is in particular done by an artist named Brian DeWin. And I think I'm saying that right, I don't know. He's done a lot of different albums. He did some for REM and things like that. But this particular item here, this Victrola with wings, this very cool kind of line art style is really popular. It's inspired a few tattoos and things like that. You have the entire lyrics to The King of Carrot Flowers, Part 1, which is really cool. You need a magnifying glass, at least I did, but very cool design on this piece. You get that great Duin graphic here right in the middle. So it's on both sides and it just looks great. If you're a fan of Neutral Milk Hotel, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me what you think of it. And did I miss anything? I know about the Anne Frank stuff. I know about all that, but I don't really want to talk about it. Again, thanks for joining me and cheers.